So I wanted to make a quick response to some of the new drama that's been going on in the elite, related to me and related to unbanning me and a couple of other users. So, first of all, this questionnaire, the yes and the no, I actually think I would have voted no. Kind of. It's obviously worse than yes, but both of these answers kind of suck. The best possible result is to just say, if somebody sets a record, that record gets ranked, and we have it on the leaderboards forever. There's nothing they can do about it. They have their name attached to it. Maybe not necessarily their name. If they want to take off their name, they can. I think that'd be fine. But, make people keep their records on the rankings and make them post them. Ideally, if you could stop people from even hoarding, that'd be ideal, but obviously there's nothing you can really do about just making someone post a video. Now, that's just my opinion about it. Not that relevant to this response as a whole. I just want to look at a couple of the things that some people said. Now, it says here, Birdie made a reply that said, what was it here? Here it is. I would not be comfortable. Now, let me go to this. In my opinion, the rankings are a timetable of members of the elite community and not necessarily a worldwide database of everyone who has ever achieved a time. Now, that would be true if it didn't say, on the website, the best GoldenEye and Perfect Dark players in the world. Funny enough, by the way, it only says that because I corrected what it used to say. It used to say something that kind of sounded weird. I actually corrected them and they changed it. But if you want it to be more correct, again, you need to listen to another correction of mine. This is the one I'm going to make. A better phrase here, instead of the best GoldenEye and Perfect Dark players in the world, just say the best GoldenEye and Perfect Dark players on this website. Or maybe the best GoldenEye and Perfect Dark players who we like. That would all make it more accurate. You've got here leaders, the GoldenEye world record leaders. So just change this to the GoldenEye, or the elite site GoldenEye world record leaders, or site record leaders. Get rid of the word world. Don't reference the word world anymore. So say site leaders, site record leaders, community record leaders. Get rid of the word world, and it'd make more sense. You've got the world records and rankings. Well, it's not the world records and rankings, according to Birdie. Birdie thinks it should be the site records and rankings. So if anyone agrees with Birdie's opinion here, you should also be advocating for the site to be changed to the GoldenEye site records and rankings, if you want to be more accurate and not lie to the people who come to your website. These are the best known records for GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. And again, this actually ties into something that I'm going to get to in a second. It says here, the best known records for GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. They actually aren't the best known. They're the best known records for GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64 among people who we like. That's a better, more accurate representation. And I want to actually just tie this into something a little bit further down. The rankings are already incredibly inaccurate all the time due to the prevalence of hoarding. Well, yeah, that may be true, but it says here, and I think that it's completely reasonable to say, that these are the best known records. The best ones that anyone who runs this website has any possibility of actually knowing exist. And that would include anyone who's actually submitted a record that isn't hoarding it. People who are hoarding aren't known to have their to have their runs exist, because they never showed them to anyone. You can't really expect the rankings to show records that were never shown to anyone. So making that argument is, kind of disingenuous to me. You're saying the prevalence of hoarding makes it so the rankings are already inaccurate. They're only inaccurate. What's ironic here is actually R. White Goose himself made a massive YouTube video talking about how he doesn't like hoarding strats. He doesn't like hoarding records. He's posted in the forums, and I could dig up the post, but, he has done this. Posted in the forums saying, I do not like having hoarding in this community. And a lot of people agree with that. Hoarding sucks. They don't like hoarding. And yet, when it comes to this, they say, oh no, this is just like hoarding. It's just like hoarding. We should just keep it like this because it's like hoarding. All of a sudden, they love hoarding. Anyway, so let's go to what is the next thing that I wanted to address? I think it was down here. So, actually, no, I apologize. It's up here. So, first of all, Birdie said, I threatened the lives of some eliters here. Now, look, people have been saying this about me for I don't know how many years, 4 or 5 years? Can somebody please just show me the one single example where I threatened the lives of another eliter? Just the one single instance where it ever happened. Because I have never, ever been able to be shown this happening. But what I can show is this.
Mark, I'm going to find you. I'm going to slit your fucking throat. I'm going to burn all your N64 equipment. I'm going to fucking destroy you. I'm going to beat your Train 57. I'm going to get a 21-2X. I'm going to destroy you, Mark.
Now, why is it that you think that that video didn't result in Clemens being banned? Just think about it. I'm not even going to discuss that or address it. I'm going to let anyone who's watching this video, hopefully Birdie watches it, ruminate on that question and really think about it. Why was Clemens not banned for threatening another user of the Elite? Now, let's get back into something else. So Sharp Eye says down toward the bottom, many users of the rankings play for world records or rankings and like to see where they compare to other players in terms of points or in terms of times on a stage. It's cool to be able to say, wow, look at that. I'm sandwiched between Ace and Swiss for initials on Cradle. Or look at someone that's achieved the same time as you on a stage. Looking at the rankings and being reminded that someone who's unapologetic about their stances on these issues is not a nice feeling. Well, first of all, I actually kind of find it ironic that I would read this sentence and think, okay, great, you're in favor of fully unbanning everyone. But it's kind of funny how just people can kind of twist things to kind of mend with their own beliefs. Now, I want to say, though, it seems like the Elite and people in general have kind of forgotten about this. So currently there's a guy with an untied world record on 00 Agent Aztec 00 Agent, who said, I think there's a lot of importance in not showing your power level. It's easy to get cast away as an anti-Semite if you talk about the Jewish question in this climate. He said about race mixing, that race mixing is like a direct simulation from that cuck Nickelodeon Bulldogs show. He said that the N-word is fine. People should just be allowed to say it. So, imagine if you were a Jewish person and you achieved 133 on Aztec 00 Agent. Your name, your initials are right next to the legendary RW, R. White Goose, the Ryan White, the man who hates Jews, unapologetically hates Jews. Or what if you were half black, half white, a mixed person, and you were right next to RW, the guy who unapologetically compares mixed people to Nickelodeon Bulldogs. Now, it seems like this community in general doesn't really care about having our White Goose as part of it. They never banned him. During the same time period where all of this was going on, where I was getting banned and where, my records were being removed from the website, it was kind of spurred on by Goose. And around the same time, this came out of Goose. And yet, he was never banned. No one ever really cared. Now think about why. Is it because the Elite has this, this kind of morality that says, you know what, people who are unsavory people who are racist, people who are pedophiles, those kinds of people, we don't allow them in our community. Do you really think that's what it is? Or do you think it's just because we didn't like this particular person, and we've known our White Goose for years, and so we like him? So which one do you think is more likely to be the result and the cause of these bans? And again, that's not something I'm going to comment on. I'm going to let that ruminate in the minds of anyone who might be watching this and really think about it. So yeah, I think that's... Oh, well, I actually wanted to address this. My addressment is going to be not addressing it. Our White Goose says that, you should institute a 100-year ban, so then in the future, the times might be accurate again. Now, I think he's just obviously joking. He knows that, that's obviously a silly thing to want to do, and that it wouldn't actually solve the problem. I think he's just kind of like saying that as a joke. If he isn't saying it as a joke, that's kind of sad. And, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I feel kind of bad for Joe Reese because, as we know, as many people probably know, it's very obvious he wants the world rankings to be more accurate. He wants them to be reflective of who actually has the world records in the world and who actually achieved records at certain times and certain dates. And so it's kind of unfortunate for him that it seems like the community will never be on board with that. They'll never want to have an accurate ranking and leaderboard like Jarice wants. And honestly, like I wanted whenever I cared about this website, I thought it was a good one. So yeah, that's unfortunate, Jarice. I'm sorry to say, but I told you so.